Hey guys! In this tutorial I wanted to show you how to draw trees with soft pastels. So it's pretty simple once you get the idea of actually how to do it. I always used to struggle with drawing trees, it was like my nemesis. But now I want to show you how I go about drawing trees. So I'm using Canson midtones paper. This is the smooth side and I'm using this light kind of beigey color, yellowish color. So it gives me sunny mood to my painting. And here are some colors that I'm going to be using. So it's mostly yellowish greens for the lights and brown, some darker blues and blues for the sky, and also some darker greens. So I'm going to be using my lights warm and my darks cool. So let's start. I have my reference in front of me and I have this big sheet, so I want to make a couple of studies of trees on this sheet. So the first tree that I want to draw, and it has a beautiful sunlight on it, and the first thing that I see is how the branches are kind of clumping together in parts. And we can sketch it out with a pencil, a pastel pencil, or we can just go and draw the shape with the pastels. So for this first one, I will go and sketch out the... Let's move it here. There you go, so you can see it. There we go. So I'm going to sketch out the tree. I want it to occupy approximately this space. I'm looking at the shape. Again, it's a tree. It's not a portrait. It doesn't have to be perfect. I have pastel here. It has to resemble a tree. It's okay if it's not the identical tree that we're drawing. So this is our tree, this is the main shape, and I'm looking at these branches. So I see there's a dark area here, a dark area under the branches here, here, and also here in between. So I'm looking at those darkest areas. Now, this is the easiest way to draw a tree, and I'm just taking a pastel. So let's see what colors I have here. So this is kind of a warmish green, and then I have this cooler, darker green. So I'm going to go in with my darks first, and I'm going to add those darks in marks on this pastel I'm using on the side, and I'm going into those dark areas. And I'm creating the silhouette of the tree. Sorry. So, and I'm looking where it's darkest, I'm adding the most pastel. Again here, I'm kind of creating these abstract strokes with my pastel. And you can see already it starts to resemble a tree. Constantly rotating my hand so that I create these different looking strokes and marks on the paper. Here it's quite dark at the bottom. Here goes this branch, it goes out, and also this area has more darkness to it. Now I'm going to take this green that is lighter and warmer, and I'm going to add this green to where my lights are, but not cover all the paper. So I want the paper to be actually the lightest color of my tree. So I'm going in places and I'm creating that silhouette of the tree. So this technique, it works well for sketches. So I'm going into this darker green and adding it where this kind of mid-tone value is. I'm going to add more dark green here. And again here, I'm adding it. So I'm kind of creating this transition from this dark green into the light of the paper. So as we will have the sky, I'm going to correct my silhouette with the sky color. So this is even lighter blue I'll take. So I can go in and create this sky around the tree. And here, in between, I can add the lights into the tree. So where the sky shines through the branches. There's quite a big gap here at the bottom. And I'm gonna go back to my darks and I'm gonna intensify those darks slightly so that we can have the shape of those branches forming. So I'm treating each clump of branches as an individual shape, looking at those shapes. Now I'm gonna go back to my blue, add that sky color here at the bottom, and then we have the grass on the horizon. And now I can add, this is a dark brown. I'm going to add that shadow to the trunk, and I'm going to add a dark green over the top because it will have a lot of green coming from the tree. As the light is reflected and from the grass. And here I can add more of these branches inside as I see them. And again, I'm gonna dull them down a bit with my green. So this is one way. This is like the simplest way of actually sketching a tree. Then we can go in a bit more, have a more painterly approach, and we can add more colors to our tree.